We're Generation X, born between 1974 and 1980. We are the generation of change. We are the generation that saw as teenagers the end of the Cold War that fueled a nuclear arm race between two superpowers. We saw the fall of the Berlin Wall. Yesterday's Cold War symbol became a tourist attraction and a souvenir. We witnessed the collapse of the Soviet Empire, the liberation of Eastern Europe, and democracy in Russia. We are the generation of cultural change who were rained on cable television. We came of age in the internet. We communicated instantly with friends anywhere on the planet. We made friends in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, friends whose family once endured the only horrors of the nuclear age, at least so far. We hear a new urgent plea from a former policymakers of Cold War generation. Henry Kissinger, George Shultz, William Perry, and Sam Nunn, Republicans and Democrats, have united to confront their failures. A world overstocked with nuclear arms. A world in which many nations, even stateless terrorists, covet nuclear weapons. These former policymakers wrote a Wall Street Journal article warning, "We are at a, quote, a nuclear tipping point." They said the deadliest weapon ever invented could fall into dangerous hands. Taking it upon themselves to try to mobilize the world leaders to move us towards what these clear-thinking hardliners called a nuclear-free world. They have listened to a number of specific policy proposals, starting with the sharp reduction in arsenals of the United States and Russia, which has 95% of all nuclear weapons on the planet. They have won praise from other former official, Mikhail Gorbachev, the last Soviet president, who signed the first treaty making actual reductions in nuclear arms, as said, quote, "It's becoming clear that nuclear weapons are no longer a means of achieving security. In fact, with every passing year, they make our security more precarious." Indeed, back in 2002, Mr. Gorbachev was asked about that very point in an interview by an American journalist named Martin Schramm for his book and U.S. television series entitled Avoiding Armageddon. Mr. Schramm, tell me about your interview with Mikhail Gorbachev in 2002.
Well, at first, President Gorbachev started out by telling me that he wanted to be able to talk directly with the world's leaders through our television series and my book. He wanted to tell the leaders that they have to act to secure nuclear weapons to reduce the nuclear warhead numbers on the planet Earth. And at that point, something interesting happened. I turned to him and I said, "You know, President Gorbachev, I hear what you're saying, but I think maybe you have it backwards." And he looked at me and said, "Have it backwards? How can you say such a thing? I thought I blew the interview." But then I said to him, "Well, the way I'm thinking about it is our leaders already know this, but you've been saying it before and others have too, but they're not acting. And why? Because they probably don't have any pressure. So I was thinking that maybe what you need to do is to speak directly to the people, because maybe this is a time when the people have to lead their leaders and force their leaders to act." And he looked at me and said, "I do have it backwards. I'm going to talk to the people and tell the people, you must lead your leaders. You must get your leaders to reduce the number of nuclear weapons, to secure the nuclear weapons that we have here on Earth."
We can be a force so large that our leaders must take action. We can and we must make change happen. We can use the internet tools such as Facebook to unite our generation and other generations behind this urgent global cause. A global rock concert towards a nuclear-free world can air instantaneously around the planet. We can promote a global interactive walkathon with people perhaps just a mile, all at the same time, all in the same direction, all towards a common goal. Found a nuclear-free world.